Saitama from One Punch Man has proven he's the universe's strongest hero, but is there a secret to his powers? Well, a mind-blowing fan theory will make you think so. Let's get into it right now. So, we all know how Saitama says he acquired his godlike abilities, and frankly, it's a little hard to believe. He said that he followed a routine of 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and running 10 kilometers every single day. For added flair, he also never used his air conditioning or his heater. All that combined supposedly turned Saitama into the strongest hero in the entire universe, capable of destroying literally anything he wants with a single punch. But I'm not so sure about this. I mean, I tried Saitama's workout for a little bit and all it made me was cranky and sore. Plus, you know how hard it is to go without a heater or air conditioning sometimes. It's crazy. And you're telling me the end result of all that basic training is to do amazing things like completely obliterate the dragon-level Elder Centipede or turn the one-eyed alien Lord Boros to dust? Come on, there has to be something more than that. And thanks to a fan theory, we might have the most genius explanation around. We got a big shout out going to noobmaster69_is_Loki over on Reddit for coming up with this. Wait a second, noobmaster69 is Loki? That makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. But that's a discussion for a different time. We're focusing on One Punch Man here. The fan theory suggests that there was nothing physically responsible for Saitama gaining his abilities, but rather it all relied on his mental strength and fortitude. That's right, Saitama became the strongest being in the entire universe just by believing that he could. Oh, well, okay, the whole thing is a lot more complicated than that. If I break it down, the driving factor is how much Saitama became obsessed with becoming stronger. He devoted his entire existence to it after his first fight with Crablante. In that brawl, Saitama was still a normal businessman with plenty of hair to spare. He tells Crablante that when he was a kid, he wanted to be a hero who could beat villains with one punch, but lost that drive and became a businessman in adulthood. But that fight awakened something within Saitama, and after it he went on his special training regime. And now I really want to see what type of businessman Saitama was. Now, if the theory's true, it wasn't just the constant exercising that turned Saitama into Captain Baldy, but rather it was his unwavering dedication and commitment to accomplishing his goal that unlocked that strength from within. And overall, that's just a nice message and totally typical of anime. It means that no matter what your goals are, if you're passionate and dedicated to want it badly enough, you'll make it happen. Picture if that's how things happen in the real world. Say you wanted to become a famous artist and every day you drew stick figures trying to get those lines perfectly straight. And you were so dedicated that you never took a day off, even when your hands cramped or all your pencils broke. Then boom! All of a sudden, you're the next Picasso, baby. And if we look at other characters in the show, this theory doesn't sound too far-fetched. Like again, let's go back to Discount Mr. Krabs. Crablante tells Saitama upon crossing paths with him that he ate too much crab and then transformed into a crab man. That tells me that there was a guy who was so obsessed with crabs that he eventually became crabs. Oh no, I might be in trouble. I'm obsessed with eating tacos. Like I wish every single day was taco day. Does this mean if I was in the world of One Punch Man, I'd turn into a giant taco beast? And how quickly would I last without eating myself? All kidding aside, this type of transformation is prevalent throughout the entirety of One Punch Man. The car monster, aka Super Custom YO649Z Mark II, said he loved custom cars so much that he became a custom car-loving monster, meaning he was obsessed with cars and then turned into one. Vaccine Man from the first episode, you know, the guy who looks like a version of Piccolo from Dragon Ball that joined the Blue Man group, yeah, he said he was created from nature's wrath in order to wipe out humanity as a result of them polluting everything, which you could argue as nature being obsessed with fixing itself and developing a monster to wipe out humans. Garou wanted to be a monster so badly that he eventually became one. All of these guys have the same thing in common. They wanted something badly enough and never gave up until they got it. And it's not only related to villains either. Look at someone like Amaya Mask, who obsessed with becoming handsome and then succeeded. And hey, just look at that dreamy face. We can't argue with those results. So almost everyone who's dedicated themselves to an individual cause that we know about in One Punch Man and follows through with it tends to achieve their goal. It explains why Genos will never be as strong as Saitama. His belief about growing stronger doesn't come from within, but rather he just keeps upgrading himself with more and more powerful tech. Which is cool, to be fair, and makes for some awesome fight scenes, but in the end, will never allow him to reach a level of power similar to other heroes. And overall, Saitama is the prime example of this. He wanted to be able to beat people with a single punch, and now he can because his willpower and dedication allowed him to do so. This certainly is a better explanation than just doing a simple workout every day. It makes the world of One Punch Man a fascinating place, and shows just how high all these characters could reach if they were just dedicated enough to a single cause. But obviously, every fan theory has holes, and this one is no different. Although there are a lot of heroes and villains who have gotten the way that they are by working hard and believing in their ideals wholeheartedly, there are others who don't fit with this theory. Look at Speed of Sound Sonic, who has become utterly obsessed with beating Saitama in any way he can. Like, seriously, this is the guy's only passion in life, and something tells me he's never going to pull it off. Maybe get a new hobby, dude. Take up baking or knitting or something else more productive than beating the strongest guy in the universe. But his very existence seems to disprove the theory, because we know how dedicated and obsessed he is with beating his rival. But who knows, maybe with more time, Speed of Sonic will surprise us all and suddenly grow to be the strongest villain in the universe. But in defense of this theory, maybe he hasn't grown strong enough to beat Saitama because he's not meant to be a bad guy. Throughout the show, we've seen Speed fight with honor and integrity, so maybe he's not getting stronger because his heart is ultimately in the wrong place at the moment. If he switched over to the side of good, maybe that would unlock his inner strength. And of course, there's the greatest hero of all time, Mumen Rider. Ain't nobody embodies the passion and desire for becoming stronger than him. He's probably more dedicated to being a strong hero than Saitama ever was, and yet a flat tire's probably his greatest enemy. If this theory is true, then wouldn't Mumen Rider have become the strongest hero of all time? Well, not so fast. I think there's actually an explanation for this. Maybe Mumen Rider's goal isn't to be the strongest hero, but deep down, he just wants to help people. And by being just a normal guy with a glass jaw who constantly puts his life on the line to save as many people as he can, he's inspiring these stronger heroes and the civilians around him to be better. So in a way, he's living out his biggest obsession, and the theory still stands. Unless, of course, it's all a ruse and Mumen Rider is actually hiding his true strength because he secretly could destroy the entire universe if he hit someone with just his crash too hard. You never know, right? And now, here's the big question. Should Saitama's powers even have an explanation? Sure, I think the theory makes a lot of sense, but would some of the fun of the show be gone if it ever just came out and said that this was the exact explanation? Or is it better for it to remain a mystery? That is going to be the big question at the heart of the upcoming live-action movie of One Punch Man that's currently in the works at Sony. Yes, I know, live-action anime movies usually tend to be either terrible or super terrible. But I actually think this project has a lot of potential. The writers of Jumanji: The Next Level are attached to pen the screenplay, and I have faith that they can make an action-packed adventure about Saitama and his friends that actually could be good. But the way that big blockbusters tend to work, they usually don't like to leave things ambiguous, which means we might get an answer to how Saitama actually got his powers. Or at least a more clear explanation of the events that lead him to become the hero he is today. And although I am all for seeing this theory confirmed, maybe it would be for the best if it stays within our imaginations. But I'll tell you what, if the live-action movie falls on its face and says Saitama actually got his powers from an ancient wizard who granted him the strength on a whim or something equally ridiculous, I'm going to be upset. Yeah, I think it's ultimately for the best that this theory, although very plausible and makes a ton of sense, never is outright confirmed by anyone involved in One Punch Man. The show is definitely better for not fully addressing the source of Saitama's immense power, because the answer after all this time would probably only be a disappointment. Or who knows, maybe Saitama was telling the truth. Maybe just sticking with that simple routine every single day will cause you to lose all of your hair and be able to punch things into oblivion. I guess there's no real way to tell, unless we all try it. Never mind, just give me a taco. How do you think Saitama got his powers? Do you think it was just a regular exercise regimen, or could it perhaps be something more? Fire away with your best fan theories in the comments down below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button for more awesome anime content. As always, thanks a whole bunch for watching.